Yeah, I think it's a well poised Ashes Test match. I think it's been a great Test match so far. You know, reasonably even. I think. Obviously, I think we're pretty happy having them 30 for 3. But at the same time, I think we probably just leaked a couple too many tonight, really. But at the same time, I think if we can start well in the morning, two big wickets up front, it could be quite crucial. All of a sudden, if you have them 50, 60 for 5, it's a big turning point. So obviously tomorrow morning, as always, is important. But you touched on that partnership with Stuart was 60 runs or so. It could be quite a big part of the game. And hopefully for us, it's a good thing. But pleased with the way we played, and it was quite important. We put on a partnership there because at that point probably wasn't looking like we were getting, a lead of too big a lead. So really pleased with how we went there.
How did you feel when you were told that Jimmy wouldn't be able to join you on the field there in the second innings? And do you know if there's any prospects tomorrow?
I was obviously gutted for Jimmy. I suppose he's obviously dying to play more than anyone, and probably wants to play more than anyone. But obviously wasn't right. Which is unfortunate for him and unfortunate for us as a team, with him being the best best fast bowler that's ever lived, in my opinion. With the amount of wickets he's taken and all that, it's obviously a bit of a blow. But at the same time, us as a unit have to go out there and try and do the job. But moving forward, I actually don't know. I mean, the fact that he hasn't taken much part in the game so far obviously doesn't look too promising, but I actually don't know.
And are you last one? Are you sick of the sight of Steve Smith yet?
No, not yet. He's obviously a world class player, Steve. We've got to find a way to get him out. I think on this surface in particular, it's hard to probably force the issue as a bowler to so much. So like the pace has gone out of the pitch. So you almost have to build pressure and find ways to build pressure and maybe attack at the other end and hold at the other. And almost try and build pressure to make sure that the batsman makes a mistake. But Steve doesn't make too many mistakes. So we've got to find a way. We'll obviously look at a few plans overnight and see what we can come up with.
Chris, sorry, about Steve Smith again. Like when you started to him in the first innings, you had a leg gully, like a wideish leg gully, who then went to leg slip. Do you think it kind of altered your length when you started? And then what was just the thinking behind leg gully and then the leg slip?
Well, the thoughts of that is that he hits the ball there quite a bit. I suppose he's obviously very strong off his legs. We've set a leg side field a few times and obviously had catches in and around the areas that you've spoken about. He's a good player at manipulating the field as well. So it's credit to him. But it didn't affect my length in any way. I actually thought. First innings I actually was reasonably pleased with how I bowled at him. Obviously didn't get him out, but he didn't hurt me too much. Which is obviously important at the same time. If you're not getting a batsman out, you don't want him to score too many runs. So that's the reason for having those men there.
With the kind of the short turnaround from the World Cup to now, how much time have you had to kind of work on plans for the Australian batsmen and actually hone and drill those plans?
Well, we had a camp at St George's Park, which I think everyone knew about, and we had two days there, which we went over quite a few things with the Australian players, like team analysis session, which every team in the world does. We've had enough time to get some plans together, and some of these players we've played against for years, and a lot of players have played against them a lot. So you constantly have plans in your head already, and then you kind of just bring them to the table as a team and discuss and kind of brainstorm, I suppose.
Chris, over here. Chris, how much more, I guess, in the game did you feel as a bowling attack, bowling to everyone else, and also, I guess. Obviously, Steve, a couple of years ago, found enough batting partners to stay with him for Australia to get big totals. Is the way, or one of the ways you're looking to pressure him, is to see wickets falling at the other end?
Yeah, I suppose so. obviously Steve's a very good player, and don't get me wrong, we're trying to get him out as well. But whenever you get a new player at the crease, you try and attack them as much as possible, because that's when you're most vulnerable as a player, when you first get to the crease. So, we obviously saw in the first innings, we obviously built a lot of pressure at the other end and put pressure on the other batters. We obviously try and do that again, but at the same time, we'll certainly be looking to get Steve out if we can, because we saw how destructive he was at the back end of the first innings. He may end up scoring probably over half the first innings runs. So, it's important that we try to get him out as well.